Hello there. This is Dr. Evil for TSP, and we have a very special guest that you MMA fans on the channel know very well. Mrs. Evil is here. How you doing?
Howdy. I'm here.
I know you like that word, howdy.
I do like the word howdy.
Yeah,
It just comes out.
it sounds a lot like white supremacy.
And we're going to continue. What's the
Okay,
topic for today?
First of all, let's show Mrs. Evil some love. A couple days ago, she ran 31.1 miles in a 50K ultra marathon. So,
I left my medal over there.
oh yeah, she left her medal over there.
My
So, yeah, if you can't show the medal, it didn't happen.
That's basically it. Or if you join our Strava, link below, you can see my stats. But anyway, why do we have cheesecake on our?
So it's very interesting. You know, how long have we been together?
17 years.
17 and a half years plus 8 days.
This is why I said it with a slight question mark at the end. I forgot which year I just stopped counting. We're stuck with each other forever.
So, you know, when we go to react to this video, and shout out to Thon Lexi, the Black Light podcast. I think this is like the first time I'm really reacting to his content. The link to his channel and the original video will be down below in the description. So definitely check him out if you haven't checked him out already. He released a reaction video that had me floored, and I said, Mrs. Evil, we gotta do this. And she's like, you know what? We need to put some content up on the channel. And little did she know.
This is what I get for pushing for content. And this must be a good one because I know you watch his channel a lot. And this is, I think, the first time you've asked me to do a recording with you.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, Thon Lexi does put out a lot of good content. He works very, very hard on his craft. But what we're going to do here today is we are going to take a look at a video encounter that happened where a woman thought it was a good idea to go on a date with a guy and basically show how important she thinks she is. I guess that's, you know, what the whole point of her getting involved in all of this is. So let's look at it real quick, and I definitely wanted to get your opinion because, again, you know, we've been together a really long time.
Yeah.
And we've found a lot of things that work in relationships. We've found a lot of things that don't work in relationships. And so I wanted to give you an opportunity to look at this and to react to this along with me.
I'm going to lose brain cells. I know it.
The reaction. Shouts out to Eugene from Instagram. He sent me this clip. There was this entitled woman who played herself out of a date with a man who seemed like a decent guy. Let's go ahead and get right into it.
Okay, almost there.
She's already putting on a production.
Find some parking.
This is already terrible.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Was she recording or live streaming? I'm sorry, I'm asking questions in the middle of this.
I wasn't quite sure because I did watch this once before. I wasn't quite sure if she was live or if she was recording here. I mean, it seems like you want to start here. A woman that's supposed to be going on a date with a man that is either recording herself in the car and or live streaming.
Yeah, it hurts already. It does. Because she's putting on her glasses in a way, in a mannerism, as if she's getting ready for a big performance. Look at my tits all out. And look at this cleavage. And now I'm on stage. She's like prepping to be on stage. in front of her audience, which is why I'm asking if this is a live. Like, it already hurts. The stomach hurts already.
Yeah, it's weird. I only really paid attention to that detail in passing because the rest of it's so bad. But it is.
You saw what I saw, right? As she's
Yeah.
putting it on, she's like, "I'm now Beyonce."
Yeah. It's and by the way, it just so happens that you had mentioned the one person that the girlies are not very happy with at the moment. But more about that in another video. But yeah, let's see this performance. And again, shout out to Don Lexi for being somewhat friendly towards people reacting to his content.
No, nothing. I'm just talking to my girls. Okay. Tell them I said hi. Yeah.
Live streaming.
Let me just get the door for you. Okay.
Smile.
He got me at the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. I ain't getting out this car.
What?
Yes. Would you want me to open the door for you? Look.
Are you're recording me?
Yeah. Yeah. This is the Cheesecake Factory. This is the
Look at the
Cheesecake Factory.
dramatic removal of the glasses. This is a show for her. This is a show. It's not about the date. She's putting on a show.
When you look at her, how old does she? What age range does she look like she's in?
The thing here puts her, okay, to be very transparent, I think I overheard that she's in her 40s because you were watching this and I happened to walk into the room because I was getting dressed and then got out. So I didn't see the whole thing. So
I didn't catch that part.
Yeah, I believe she's in her 40s. I think I overheard that part. And she does look like she's in her 40s. This is a show for her. She's on stage. Yes. Can I open the door for you? Okay. And then he goes to open the door. It hurts. Okay, go. Just go.
Get
out of my misery.
When you put the age up to her behavior, does this look like a woman who is looking at dating with urgency?
No.
And one of the things that I see from this is that there's a fundamental disrespect for men, and there's a fundamental misunderstanding of who men are and what the purpose of dates are supposed to be.
And the other disrespectful part is you are in someone else's car and they go to open the door for you, but you leave
and you
it
let
locked.
them get out the car with the intent of disrespect. Oh shit.
That part right there is disrespectful. He goes to open the door for you and you lock yourself in someone else's car. This is not your vehicle. Continue.
What's the problem with that?
This is a chain restaurant.
She's playing with her hair.
That ain't even her hairs, but we're not gonna go there.
You know what I mean? I just like, it's just okay. And it's not even a nervous play. Like, I'll nervously play with my hair sometimes. This is a look at me, I'm so gorgeous play.
See, the reason why I stopped it here, is she made her judgment based upon the fact that it's a chain restaurant.
Right. I haven't even commented on that part yet because there was so much before we even got to that part. Cheesecake.
Like, and look at the look on her face. It looked like she smelled onions mixed with rat piss.
Mm-hmm.
She's sitting in someone else's car who spent his gas, spent his time. And this is the thing, like in a lot of these dating situations, a lot of women have this impression that only their time matters when it comes to dating. No, that guy is taking time out of his date. That dude took time. Like, I hear, oh, but I had to look good and I had to. Well, if he didn't look decent, you would not go on the date with him. So he had to do that too. So the weird entitlement from somebody who, again, we can run through it. We got the fake hair, we've got the 14 pounds of makeup, the unnatural color on the lips, the fake eyelashes, right? All of this extra stuff over the top. But the first thing that I look for, since I can see them, is can I locate her collarbones?
Mm.
So obviously she's overweight. Now,
I wasn't even looking for that because she made sure that the focus was on her breasts.
I was about to say, Katie had some big ass titties.
That's, she put the focus there. My eyes went to her boobs.
Right.
Because that's what she wanted.
But remember, certain women in society are over sexualized by other people. They're not doing it to themselves.
I wasn't supposed to look at her boobs. Did she put it on camera?
Yeah. So.
It's not Patreon.
But but the thing that got me, which I had to call you into this meeting with me, young lady, is the issue. Yeah. It's a chain restaurant. P.F. Chang's is a chain restaurant.
P.F. Chang's was delicious. That shit was delicious.
Right? Like,
yeah.
I know that you're a woman that really prides herself on being sensible. I have to get your opinion on her basically trying to shit on this guy while sitting in his car, as you mentioned, over the fact that it's a chain restaurant.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. But then I think about what caused the both of them to agree to go on this date. Like, were no hints dropped, or maybe they were, and he did not pick it up, that she is the type of person to have this type of reaction if you bring her to a place like Cheesecake Factory. And there was some other video I remember us watching about how people may or may not react, or what type of restaurant you can or cannot bring them to. So I'm just wondering this is a question we won't get an answer to, but this is what I'm thinking before I even think about the gross reaction of her in this production and play that she's putting on. What were the conversations they had leading up to the agreement to go on a date? And did he not catch that she is this type of person to have this type of reaction? Like, wouldn't that sort of be in the conversation as you're courting someone? Like, what do you like? What's your ideal first date? Isn't that it's been a long time since, dating. We've been together 17 years now, but is that not sort of a question? Don't you sort of get this information out of people to see what they may or may not like?
Well, I think
not to excuse it, but this is what I'm thinking.
No, I think you're right on point. And again, this is something that we preach pretty heavily here on this platform on TSP, that a lot of the dating difficulties that men are going through are self-inflicted. There are a lot of situations where guys will take a chick, and for me, I look at her, if you take off all the makeup and all that stuff, you know what, before I even go there, I'm going to throw it back to you, okay? So if I told you I was interested in a woman, not even knowing what kind of personality she has or any of that, right? If I brought a woman home and I said, hey, I'm interested in her, I'm interested, in having some sort of dating relationship with her, and then you just looked at the first time just looking at her, how would you view me just looking at her appearance?
She basically checks off many, many boxes to disqualify a person for you, me knowing you, what you like. For me, as your partner, and as someone who is okay with an open relationship, if you brought her home and I know what your disqualifications are, I would then also question you of why. Like, what's so special about her that she got to bypass the disqualification checkpoints?
So what you're saying is she's a solid 4.
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is the thing for me, right? Like, a chain restaurant is a problem for you. Now, I've never been to the Cheesecake Factory, but I like cheesecake, right? And I know that you like cheesecake. Specifically, Oreo cheesecake, right?
Like it's not my number one cake, but if you brought me to Cheesecake Factory, I'd be very happy.
Right. And why? Why is the Cheesecake Factory good enough for you?
It's just delicious. Like it's not that complicated, you know. It's good, delicious dessert. And what's the point? The whole point of the date or this meetup is to get to know the person, right?
Right.
So if you're upset about the Cheesecake Factory, what were you expecting instead? Was it a 5-star restaurant or whatever, some high-class restaurant? And then what are you placing value on? Or maybe this part as I'm trying to get my thoughts out. What was the intention when you were going out on this date? For really good food or to get to know the person who is showing interest in you? So I don't think that the destination is necessarily the important factor. Or maybe the destination will help you learn about the person. Maybe he's really into cheesecake. That's something nice to know about your date. She's really into caviar. I don't know. I'm just making some shit up. That's something important to know. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with the Cheesecake Factory. It's delicious.
Well, the gentleman in this situation will answer some, if not all, of your questions.
Okay.
Take someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant.
You want to talk about it?
Get the look on your face.
I'm fine with talking about it, even in front of them.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about it.
How is he not kicking her out of the car?
It's all right.
You and Thon had the same look on your face.
Kick her out of the car. Tell her to walk home.
Woo!
Already a lot of problems with this. I can't believe nowadays women think that it's perfectly acceptable to be on TikTok or live on any platform while on a date with a guy. To me, that would already have been a turn off for me. But let's continue.
Oh, okay.
She locked him out of his own car.
Okay.
So yes, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
So you expect a man to go all out on the first date. Is that right?
This is the first date.
Look at, when you take out a beautiful woman.
Wait. Who decides that?
Can we just go back to the part where she locked him out of his own vehicle?
Oh, why certainly?
Oh, okay.
Knocked on the window.
Oh.
And she said, okay, and that's unlocked for her.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
So you expect a man to go all out on the first date.
Here's the thing that fucks me up. Do you see how smug she is? See how smug and like she's in control of the situation. This is a woman who believes that men are as disposable as the baby wipes that we use to wipe my ass.
Such a turf. Also, and I'm wondering what he's asking a legit question, but I'm wondering why his reaction was not to kick her out the car and instead to engage in this conversation with this smug woman. And by not kicking her out the car, he is showing her that what she's doing is okay.
Yeah.
Her being disrespectful is okay. By him not kicking her out the car. His questions, I think, are valid, but she should have been kicked out the car. You can ask those questions as she's standing outside of your car, or just
and
drive
she's ordering
away.
an Uber to get home.
And she's ordering an Uber. Yeah.
Yeah, it's also another thing too that kept coming through my mind. Like, you know, it's not like you paying for your plate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, are you giving yourself Cheesecake Factory food? I don't know. And maybe that's not as important, but it's just one of those things that comes to my mind. Like, you're on somebody else's dime in someone else's car.
Mm-hmm.
And you think you just got a myriad of options, right? And I hate to be the guy, but I'm the black guy in the podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here is a possible divester, a black woman that thinks, I'm just going to go to some other race, right? You get a decent looking guy that's willing to take money out of his pocket right? He didn't blow up on her. He didn't start calling her names. He didn't get racist on her or anything like that. He stayed cool, calm, and collected in this, right? And you get an opportunity to get one of the very few non-black men that would want to deal with somebody that looks like you, because I'm sorry, you're not beautiful. You're on the low end of average.
Collected. I wanted to kick her out.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and the thing is, and this is one of the things that in these parts of the internet, you're starting to see more and more women be less and less tolerant of the BS of other women. It's like, again, you know, for your situation and for your overall physical fitness, you're on the low end of average. I'm giving you a 4 out of 10, and that's only because you have some big ass titties.
Yeah.
But man, like, the dude looks like he's in a nice car. It's a clean car. It looks like there's leather seats here. There's a sunroof. That guy has at least a bit of money to provide some sort of decent lifestyle. And he is a non-black man willing to deal with you and all of this attitude without, as Ms. Ziva put it, kicking your ass out the car.
Look how slicked back his hair is. He made sure to do his hair.
Oh no, but it only matters. No, it only matters when a woman gets to look nice in the day, because that's her job. Is to. But look, I have to look nice. What about him?
Mm-hmm. His hair looks great. I feel like he's wearing the appropriate shirt for where they're going. They're going to Cheesecake Factory. You don't dress up to go to the Cheesecake Factory.
That little ornament thing on his wrist might have some sort of sentimental meaning that could have been the basis of a really great conversation for her to get to know him. But instead, she just wants to get to know his checking account and how much that she can drain from it.
Mm-hmm. Or validation as to how important she thinks she is.
Right. Because you see, like, look at her fucking body language, yo. Like, really?
I mean, you're supposed to. When you take out a beautiful woman and you're courting.
He's going to save this information for later when he goes to take out a beautiful woman.
Her. Because I get courted. So you're courting her, right? You're supposed.
This woman is clearly over the age of 30. Mm-hmm. I get courted. By who? Mm-hmm. And what is your definition of being courted? This guy picked you up in a clean, decently, you know, the MSRP on that vehicle has to be above $45,000. Just looking in the background of the car. He's picking you up in a nice, clean, decent vehicle. He looks clean. His grooming is on point. He is not just taking you to, you know, I hear complaints about going on a walk in the park, and that's too cheap. He's actually taking you to a restaurant. And what I mean by taking you to, he actually picked you up at your home and then drove you there and was going to pay for everything and then drive you back home. How is that not courting?
And if she gets courted, was she courted in the past? How did they court her? And it seems like it wasn't successful because she's on this date. So, like, is your life to just be courted, or are you looking for a lifelong partner? Like, what's the end goal? I get courted sounds like, oh, I just go on a bunch of dates and that's my life and I'm okay with that. And that's different. I mean, if you're truly okay with that, then fine, live your life. But you understand the point that I'm trying to make here? It looks like she's not looking for a lifelong partner.
Yeah, I mean, I believe her goal is to floss for all the single ladies. That's what it looks like to me. And I don't know if these single ladies on the internet, your girls that you're recording for or streaming for, I don't really know if they're going to be there for you in the end.
Mm-hmm. Supposed to take care of her. You're supposed to cover her. You're supposed to protect her, cherish her, treat her well, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I agree. I went into this date as I expected.
First off, we got to be careful with this beautiful term. I don't think it should be used for all women in society.
With the expectations for myself, to keep you safe, you know, to respect you.
Look at the fucking look on her face, y'all.
She's not listening to him. And I feel bad that he feels like he has to explain himself. I don't think any explanation is needed on his part. And I hope he learns this. He doesn't need to explain himself.
The only thing I think that he needs to explain is the directions to getting the fuck out his car.
Yeah.
To pay for your food, of course, pick you up, of course, and just treat you like a gentleman, which I believe I have done.
I mean, you've been pretty nice, but I mean,
You've been pretty nice, but
I, on the other hand, have certain expectations for a girl I go out with on the first date.
here's where it turns. Here's where it turns.
I expect her to be respectful too. I expect her to be cooperative, and at least, you know.
What did I do that wasn't cooperative?
Well, I mean, like, even like when we were walking to the car, you wouldn't.
What about deciding not to get out of the car just because you don't like the restaurant he chose? You would call that cooperative?
Put your hand around my arm or anything like that, or hold my hand or anything like that.
I mean, it's too early for that.
Okay.
I don't know you.
I can
It's too early for that. I don't know you, but I deserve to take more of your money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
respect that. I can respect that. Okay. When I got to your apartment to pick you up, you didn't want to invite me in. I can respect that too. We're not
again. I don't know
there
yet.
Okay.
I don't know yet.
And then, but
I mean, I feel like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do as a woman.
But
I got myself all made up.
Nothing wrong with the Cheesecake Factory, right?
Yes, there's a lot wrong with the Cheesecake Factory.
So wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Well, look at my planner where we were gonna go originally.
See, now that's where we should have went. All right there. Call him. No. What do you mean?
Good. And look at his face. His face changed too. Okay, I feel better now. 'Cause I was also thinking that of like this is the first stop, and you don't know what his intentions are later. And I that sentence, I don't mean it in a way of like he's a bad guy, but as in what he has planned for you later. Maybe this is just the first stop. Quick cheesecake and something else, you might enjoy later as well. But I did notice, did you notice how his eyes changed and now he's a little more serious? Yeah.
Because he already knew he had this in the bag, right? Okay. And again, we're talking about personal value. This guy knew something that she didn't know.
Good.
And he knew what he was going to offer. It's really funny. I was on one of these social media platforms a few days ago, and some woman brought up in the comment section of a post about how she doesn't make demands and she has done very well with men. And I said, well, I've been saying since high school, and this is something I've noticed about myself and I've noticed about other young men, again, since teenage years. Men are going to be more likely to give a lot more to a woman who makes no demands than a woman that makes a lot of demands. Mm-hmm. You want to come out here and say, well, I deserve this and I deserve that. Well, guess what you're going to end up with? You're going to end up with a cat pawing at your arm, begging you to feed them at 5:30 in the morning because ain't no man laying next to you and ain't no kids in the other room. There's nothing. Just you and your entitlements. What you think you're entitled to. But there is really no man that's going to go out there and go above and beyond on your behalf. They're going to be less likely to go above and beyond when you start making demands.
Great, suspense is killing me. I want to see the new side.
I told you both yesterday and this morning that I'd come to pick you up at 4 p.m. Right? And I got to your place at 4 p.m. You didn't even come downstairs for another hour, and so I was waiting downstairs
I understand.
for an hour. Right?
But I wasn't expecting for work to take me so long. I got home a little late. And like I said, I don't know you well enough to invite you up into my apartment. And that is not possible.
And that.
Did you see the deflection she just did? He just mentioned something that would end 99.9999% of dates before they start for both men and women. And what is that?
That she was late?
1 hour late.
Yeah.
So when he mentioned that was a big thing, right? Mm-hmm. What does she choose to do? Yeah, I didn't know work was going to take so long. What did she do after that? She went right back to the I don't know you to invite you up into my home. That's not what the fuck he was talking about. He was talking about an hour of his time drained and you not respecting the man's time before you even got in the car. Mm-hmm. You just burn. And the thing is, if this guy makes the kind of money I think he does, you already burned $50 to $100 of his time by wasting that 1 hour.
I mean, if she just came outside, she probably would have been taken to that original restaurant. Because that's what he said, right? He was like, this is what was the
original itinerary.
Right.
Right?
That's why I'm saying, I'm thinking, okay, if we're not there in a relationship to, meet at your apartment, then maybe we're not ready in a relationship for such a nice fancy restaurant as Aria.
Ooh! Now, what do you think about that logic? Well, if we're not there in the relationship for you to welcome me in, then maybe we're not nice in a relationship for you to drain my bank account.
Yeah, I get that. I don't think that there's necessarily a one-to-one of you get the nice restaurant if you invite me in the home from a safety perspective as a woman. I want to put that out there. Not even thinking about how she's behaving entitled or anything like that. If you're just meeting someone for the first time, I would not invite them into the house. If you're meeting a lady for the first time, I would be very nervous about you going into their house and this is the first time you're meeting them. Like, don't just you meet at a public place. This is just from a safety perspective.
Yeah, we don't fuck around with that shit.
Exactly. But then we add her being late, an hour late, and then she's probably coming outside all entitled to, that air of entitlement that adds to it. So I don't think it was necessarily the you didn't invite me in thing.
But that was still his plan anyway.
Right.
His plan was still to go there, but someone showed up 1 hour late. Not 10 minutes, not 15 minutes. 1 hour late.
Especially if I'm paying for the whole thing. Which I'm still willing to do. I would have been. But
would have been.
If we're late, I told you twice.
It wasn't that late.
We literally left your place at the time the reservation was good.
Look at that body language change from her now. Do you know that? You see that 1,000-yard stare?
Yeah.
That is the 1,000-yard stare of a woman who came there for one thing and left with another. It reminds me of if anybody's seen The Wire, Marlo Stanfield. When the guy basically saw him steal the little pieces of candy, the lollipop, and when he asked, well, what happened to that guy? Well, he thought it was one way, but it was the other way. That is the look of understanding that, damn, I actually fucking blew it because I'm too good for Cheesecake Factory. Not knowing that Cheesecake Factory might have been either one stop or it ended up being a contingency plan based upon the fact that she did not respect his time.
Yeah. I mean, he could have taken her to McDonald's. Like, she still ended up at a decent place. He could have taken her to a McDonald's or Wendy's. I'm going to say McDonald's because I like Wendy's Frosties, though. So, not Wendy's. But, yeah. Okay. Good for him.
I specifically said 4 because maybe we could get there early and even have some time to get.
She doesn't seem to care too much that she completely ruined the date and that she was late and he couldn't even make the reservation at the time that he wanted to make it at.
Know each other on the way there, and while we're in the parking lot.
I mean,
I'm waiting for a reservation.
we can still get to know each other, isn't there?
Oh, she still wants to get to know him. Why? Because she saw the name of the restaurant on his itinerary plan.
Yeah.
Is this the way to get get a man to endear themselves to you? Is this the kind of behavior and mentality did you think would get a decent guy to say, you know what, I cannot wait to take this woman out and perhaps maybe provide a lifestyle for her and protect when in emergency situations? Is this the kind of methodology you would use?
Well, another thing I noticed, we have the way her body language has changed, but also her voice, the pitch in her voice. You notice it's a little higher. It's nicer now. Now I'm nice, and I'm not going to be mean like this and lock you out of your car. But now I'm very feminine because my, pitch went up.
Oh, we're talking about conditional femininity, huh? Maybe that's another video we can do in the future. Yeah, because I love that concept of conditional femininity.
That's my ordering food voice. My, go a little higher. I'm gonna wrap myself out. My sisters make fun of me about it all the time. They're like, "Why are you doing that with your voice?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just ordering a sandwich."
Woo! Wow, but look at that look at her face. She's like, damn. Damn, son. Damn.
Another restaurant, you can call that the equivalent to that. I mean,
I literally
you don't understand. Look at me. I cannot go in the Cheesecake Factory.
The audacity!
I will die.
I beg your pardon.
That's embarrassing.
Listen, as I said, I have very specific certain expectations for that.
Crocodile tears.
I don't know who this chick thinks she is, but on her best day, she's just an average woman like most women in the country. And she looks like she's aging, regardless of how much of that horrible makeup she's got caked up on her face. That's not even the right shade. It looks like it's basically green.
Until it's not gonna be there, and maybe we're not right for each other. So, respectfully, I'm gonna just drop you off at home.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Isn't it really beautiful when one party goes to negotiate with another party expecting that they get the right of refusal? Like it was her God-given privilege to do the rejecting.
You know what? I'm gonna, as I'm now calmer, and I've seen his reaction to her performance. I'm going to take that back. And I think that it's great that he's taking her home. Because if he would have done the kicking her out of the car, then she would have gone on oh my God, my date left me. How could he? He's a horrible person. And he goes, respectfully, I'm going to take you home.
Yep.
Good job, dude. Good job.
Yep. Oh, and guess what he's not going to request? Access to her apartment.
Nah, fuck no.
He just doesn't want her to have access to his vehicle anymore at this point.
As soon as she gets out the car, he has to Vin Diesel it out of there. Just tire screeching.
Yep. Yeah, he probably already located another. Yo, again, much love and respect to Thon, yo. For real.
His facial expression's great.
So you just want to call it a night? I mean,
and look, the sun is high in the sky. Yeah. The sun is high in the sky. You want to call it a night? Hey, man, I'm not saying that you should do this, but I'll say it like this. I'll say it like this. The sun is still high in the sky, and that it's a wrap for you, ma'am. And I think that when you look at the realization, and I just love how the sun's rays. It's almost like God is shining down on this man for making the right decision, right? She's actually looking at her dating and engagement and marriage prospects basically fluttering away.
I was going to say flushed down the toilet.
Yes. But you know it's not going to be flushed down the toilet. The poo generated from eating the cheesecake.
Oh my God. And continue the video.
Is there some kind of compromise or something?
Oh.
Ladies, can you believe this?
She wasn't compromised.
I'm sorry.
She's still on TikTok.
But
if I don't feel respected, I am not gonna go through with the rest of the day.
That's right.
Well, I mean, you are serious. You really leaving?
You didn't want this place anyway, right?
I mean, I understand that I was late. I understand that. I understand.
Now she's in, the 5 stages of grief, right? She's in the negotiation stage of the 5 stages of grief.
Yeah. Let's continue. I want to see it again.
That I could have been a bit more cooperative. You made some good points.
Here we
That's
go.
why I'm willing to compromise.
Oh.
Are you sure you want to go home?
I don't have a lot of rules. I don't have a lot of expectations for a first date, but I've already set them, and you've broken every one. So, I'm sorry. We're dropping you off home.
All right, whatever. Well,
And the acceptance.
I guess I understand. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Damn, she looked like she aged 15 years in the last 15 seconds.
Oh, I'm sorry. I understand where you're coming from.
Did that go the way you thought it was going to go?
Nope. Shout out to Eugene for sending me this clip. I'm glad that he did, and I'm glad that the guy who was in the video decided to just take this chick home. I wouldn't even have sat and listened to her for that long, go on that whole spiel.
You said it.
Wouldn't have went on a date with somebody who thought it was okay to be on TikTok live while I'm on the date. That's definitely a no-go in 2023. A lot of men are just wanting to avoid dating nowadays because a lot of women are just using it as means to try to embarrass men on dates, to try to shame them on the dates. We just reacted to a clip last week of a woman shaming a man because he couldn't pay his bill. A lot of different weird stuff happening when men try to be chivalrous with women, and women wonder why there's a decline in chivalry. She certainly was past the wall. She looked like she was over 35, trying to act like she was a spring chicken or she's somebody's prize. I was looking for some sort of tagline or something to show me that this was a skit, but I think that this actually is a real clip. What do you guys think of this lady? Do you guys think that her entitlement is completely out of line? I think that she's way too entitled to be basically a 40-year-old woman. So
But look at the look on her face of the resignation of her fate. Right? And again, a lot of us would think, well, I feel, bad for her. You feel some sort of sympathy for her. But she is the author of her own pain.
She has, I don't feel sympathy. She has put out an ad to the interwebs as to why she should not be dated. Why she should not be courted. She recorded that shit.
She put it on the internet.
You put it on the internet. Are you?
Hey, look, everybody.
Unsure of if should you date me, not date me? Watch this video, and it will prove why you probably shouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, she probably has gone viral, right? She's probably gone viral by now. So, I just when I saw this video, I was just like, I had to get your reaction to this because, you're a person who has always been extremely reasonable, and you've looked at some of the videos of entitled women, and I just see the look on your face. It's fucking priceless, and I think that the guys here on TSP would really appreciate the perspective of a woman that has a very dim view of women who display such poor characteristics when they're dealing with men, especially men that they don't know and men that they have not really provided any kind of real value to.
Yeah, and it's when you think back to the itinerary that he had for her, the original one, she didn't have to do much in order to go out and enjoy that. She just had to be respectful, respect his time. He's supposed to be there at 4 o'clock. He's there at 4 o'clock. Leave your house at 4 o'clock. Like it, you know, it. He wasn't expecting anything grand or anything big from her in order to go to that really nice restaurant. Just be respectful, and you couldn't do that. Instead, you put on this big grand production to disqualify yourself, like terribly. Just
yeah,
that was bad.
And the thing is, again, we see a lot of clips like this all over the internet. But the thing that always kills me is there's always this men are horrible and evil all the time, and then we just continue to keep seeing stuff like this. Yeah. Where women think that they're entitled to just have the whole world given to them in exchange for absolutely nothing. And in this case, she wanted to compromise by having all of that nasty attitude and lack of respect for his time. And in exchange, she wanted him to go find another reservation to another restaurant on the level of the restaurant that he had, chosen before. And that's her compromise. Right. Her compromise is, put up with my disrespect, and I'll allow you to spend more money on me.
Mm-hmm. And she had not apologized up to that point, right?
Yep, until the very, very, very end.
Very, very end. So when she's asking for the compromise, it was not delivered or asked with an apology. It wasn't,
or even the spirit of an apology. There was no contrition there. Yeah. It was all about me. Mm-hmm. So. The cheesecake ended up not being enough, y'all. So, I just wanted to kind of bring this reaction to you guys and let you know that there are guys out there that are not putting up with this bullshit, and neither should you. You shouldn't be one of these guys putting up with that garbage. And also understand too that there are a lot of women out there that also recognize that this is fucking trash garbage.
Mm-hmm. So original links will be below. You'd like to watch it.
Yep. So thank you for coming with us on this ride today, and we will see you, or at least me, because that's not Captain. That's not Captain Paul over there. Okay. You'll see her on the Filthy Casual MMA watch party that we have on most Saturdays when the UFC holds events. That is Mrs. Evil. I am Dr. Evil.
Hi, guys.
And again, she is a woman that prefers chocolate cheesecake, Oreo, okay, a little cookies and cream, right? And I am too good for women who are too good for cheesecake. So I lucked out here. See you on the next one, guys. Peace.